you see me? Can you hear me near you? Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, yay, Stram. Yay for being back. Oh, ha. Ha. You know, sometimes Scrivener is just. It's just dumb. Yes, yes, it does, Clundy Man. It definitely does. It has a map. It just needs an actual professional map that I don't mind sharing. I wonder how long it's been since I've shown you guys the map. It's probably been a while, hasn't it? Mm. That is the current map that I work off of. As you can see, the area, the part of, yeah, maps are a bit of a sore subject, as you can tell. The the Kingdom of Selvin, and particularly the areas where Nightblade has taken place, have the most detail. Dotted lines are kingdom borders. What is behind those countries? I'm sorry, Fallen Clown. I don't totally understand that question. Yes, the next Nightblade book, Firemage, takes place mostly in the kingdom of Feldamar and then moves into the western reaches of Dorsey. The Tales of the Wanderer series, which is this cover that most of you have already seen, right here. That one takes place almost entirely in Feldamar and then goes south into Idris. Not Idris, Hedgemond. That's another thing with this map. It's actually incorrect. Idris is where Hedgemond should be, and Hedgemond is where Idris should be. Like the names of those two kingdoms are swapped. But yeah. Yeah, my camera is laggy. It's just I'm putting my computer through a lot right now, unfortunately. Like even my response time is pretty laggy on things I'm trying to do. The island to the northeast is part of Dulmoon. The names of the countries are all they all come from different places. Um, a lot of them are based on the sort of the ethnicity slash culture that I've sort of assigned to that country, but that's not always the case. Most of them have sort of an explanation for where the name came from in the history of Underrealm. The first not that was actually not taken from Idris Elba. I just sort of thought of Idris, and then I was like, oh, huh, eh. The countries we're not seeing, the ones that are on the map but that are not very well fleshed out, are just because I haven't fleshed them out because I haven't needed them for a book yet. The countries that are beyond the edges of the map are kind of unexplored and at this point not well known. That hard line is the King's Road. Yes, indeed. It runs through all 9 of the kingdoms. The first Nightblade took place almost entirely in the kingdom of Selvin. It's that central area of the map where like everything is pretty well developed. That might help the lag just a little bit. The High King's seat is where the High King rules, and the High King rules all of the nine kingdoms. Each of the kingdoms has their own king, and they all swear fealty to the High King, who maintains order in the realm, and so on and so forth. Reason I don't call it an empire? Mm, no, not really. There's no reason. All right, we've almost got this book formatted correctly. Almost. Nope. 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 So the really nerve-wracking thing about ebook formatting is that you're always afraid that there's something else that you've missed, that you forgot to check one thing. But here's a few of the things that I look for. First of all, we want to make sure that the cover shows up on the book. So that's the first thing we check, right? Then we look through our table of contents. So now Scrivener automatically does a table of contents. Can't see anything. There you go. So there's our table of contents, and it has links to everything in the entire book. So it looks good. our first CTA there, which says Get More, is the Get More CTA, and then the title of the first book, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., chapters down the line. And then it gets to chapter 31, the epilogue, and then the second book, The Mind Mage's Wrath, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 40, epilogue, Firemage's Vengeance, which is the third book, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we get to the end, 42, epilogue, ebook, which is an error that I just removed, and then keep reading, which is the back CTA, and then acknowledgements, and about the author. So then we go and we look at our CTA. Shay says, following that link for Firemage just leads to a 404 screen. Do you mean to tell me that Garrett is no longer putting books up for pre-order until they're done? Oh! I forgot about that. I got to add that onto the onto my battle plan for the day. Thank you, Shay. I would have utterly forgotten to put that book up for pre-order if you hadn't reminded me. So then on like CTAs and stuff, we want to check that our file looks, that the images look correct. Before it was, that image was looking way too small. So, so I had to go and fix that. We double checked that the link actually works, which I already did, so I won't do it here. Our title pages for each of the books look like this. It just has the title as an image. So that is a PNG image, which Kindle actually doesn't accept PNG images. It doesn't treat them as transparent, so that doesn't work. But, and what I mean by it doesn't work is if you do a black background, which a lot of people like to read on a black background, you get the whole white background for the image, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Most people don't read this way. Most people read, with a white background. And so it ends up looking like this. There we go. Then we go to our first chapter, and it looks good. I like lots of white space at the top of my pages. So there's like 12. I think there's 12 lines of blank space before the chapter, and then there's one empty line, and then the chapter starts with all caps. Oh, actually, there's something I just didn't think about. So interesting, the formatting things that in Lord of the Rings that the Lord of the Rings doesn't necessarily do. And the things that it does do. There are so many scene breaks in the Lord of the Rings. Check it out sometime. It's insane how many scene breaks there are. Utterly crazy. But they don't actually do scene breaks. They don't do the triple star. They don't do anything. Like, check this out at the top there. Scene break, right? That's what it looks like. They don't do, there's no triple star. It's just an empty line. And they are everywhere. Sometimes there's ones with multiple pages. I do not have a publisher, however, I also do not make my front page on my own. I have a professional designer that I hire. I am my own publisher. I tried being with a publisher one time, it did not work out. And it was pretty much the best publisher that I can envision myself being with. So if it doesn't work with them, it's not going to work with somebody else. Anyway. The key to being good enough for self-publishing is hiring people to make you better, which I was only able to do like after I found some level of success on my own. So it's definitely a catch-22 situation, and that sucks. But but yeah. So the next thing that we check out is at the end of the book we have our epilogue, right? So we go to our last chapter, chapter 31 here. And then I'll flip through it, just double checking everything looks all right. And then our epilogue doesn't have a number. It actually says epilogue. Bam, there you go. And that's good. And then the next book, title, book 2, The Mind Mage's Wrath, and then we go to chapter 1. So the numbering starts over again, which is very good. Would I recommend doing it on my own first? No, I would not recommend that. I would not at all. I don't think it's a good idea to do it on your own. However, sometimes you don't have an option. When I first started writing, I did not have the option to hire a designer and an editor. I just didn't. I didn't have enough money. So I did it on my own. And I had to work really, really hard on every single book. And a lot of that time was basically wasted time that should have been done by somebody else who was better at it than me and all that sort of thing. I designed my own covers. I edited my own books, and that's dumb. If you have the option not to do it, you should not do that. You should absolutely hire somebody. But yeah, sometimes we don't have that option, and I'm very sympathetic to that. But at the same time, if you don't hire a professional editor, if you don't hire a professional cover designer, you can't get that upset when your book doesn't do well, right? Like my books struggled for years, and only did well. It took